Hello. So today I'm going to show you how to use this app, Shared Expenses. If you live with roommates and split your utility bills or other expenses, this is designed to make it easy to keep track of who's responsible for what and to make adjustments to those responsibilities. So this app is free to use, and the plan is it will always be free to use with at least this level of functionality. However, it's still in development, so just keep that in mind. If you have any feedback or suggestions, just let me know. Either leave a comment or send me an email. My email is chris@sharedexpenses.app. So the first thing I'm going to do is just create an account. And the good thing is that once you log in, it will automatically log you in each time you um, open the app, as long as you don't explicitly log out. So once your account has been created, the first thing you'll want to do is just enter your username. And this is sort of your account page. So it has your user information, it has your groups, which right now, we haven't created one or connected to one, so there aren't any. But we'll go ahead and just create a group. And the group name has to be unique among all users because that's how you request a connection to that account. As long as that name works, it will create the group and then you'll see this dialog. As it explains, you need to set some categories for the expenses you're tracking because each bill you enter needs a category. So if you're tracking utility bills, maybe you want to use these categories. If so, you can select them and then submit, or just go to the account management page and set them yourself. These categories are kind of important for two reasons. First, you modify responsibilities according to category. And second, the bills show up as what type they are in the event list, and so everyone knows what that bill is for. So we'll just go ahead and create these categories, and then go to the account management page here, and maybe add an extra category. And again, these categories can be anything you want, but it might be worth setting them kind of at the beginning, just so the kind of parameters for what expenses you're tracking are clearly laid out. So it really is recommended that everyone sharing the app or everyone sharing the bills have this app on their phone and kind of connect to the same group. That way everyone can enter the bills and payments they make themselves instead of making the account owner do it all for them. Also, they can access the information in real time, and if they're ever curious about what they owe or are owed, they can just open the app on their phone. Since it's still in development, it's only available for Android right now, but as you can see, it's running on an iPhone emulator right here. Eventually, it will work for iPhone with all the same features and cross-platform connectivity. But we'll just create an account. On this phone, again, this is a different account. Everyone has their own account, and then just connects to the same group. So once you create the account, the first thing you do is just enter your username. And this user will, instead of creating their own group, they'll connect to this group that already exists. And they just enter the name for the group as it was created, and this will send a connection request to the group owner, who can then approve it. And once they do that, the new group member will be automatically added to that group. You can also add users who are not connected to the app, but just represent another person's responsibility. So these are called ghost users. And the thing about ghost users is that obviously they can't enter bills or payments to make themselves since they're not actually connected to the app. So the group owner needs to do all of that for them. But I'll just go ahead and add a couple of ghost users. So in the account management page, this button here will open up the ghost user dialog, and you can just add in some ghost users to the account. So now there are four users here. So right now, I guess I'll add a couple of bills just so you can see how that works. So this green button down here, you click to bring up this dialog, and you can either add a bill or a payment, like to another user. So that for the bill, let's say this electricity bill, we'll just make $100. And the other thing that's different from this app from other cost splitting apps is that you can actually enter the kind of range of dates that bill is for. And in case you ever want to subdivide, responsibility by date, that will make it easy to kind of prorate or split those dates. But also optional. So for this, we'll just add a electricity bill for a month, and then maybe we'll add a grocery bill. And so if we don't enter the dates, the bill will just be for the current time that we're entering it for. So now you can see the app is kind of assuming that we're splitting all of these responsibilities evenly because we haven't told it otherwise. And maybe that's what you want to do. But if you do want to kind of adjust those responsibilities, so the group owner can go into the account management page here, and they can set a user modifier down here. So right now we don't have any user modifiers yet. We can create one. And this basically just applies for a particular user, and you can adjust the number of shares for that user, either for all dates in all categories, or for particular dates and or particular categories. For example, maybe Kitty is moving out today. So we'll set Kitty's responsibilities from kind of today onwards to 0. And maybe Erica is moving in. So similarly, we'll set Erica's responsibilities from the beginning until today to 0. You can also set modifiers based on category. So maybe Chris will take double share for these dinner groceries. Maybe for all dates, but it could be just for particular dates as well. So now you can see once we create a few modifiers, we can go back to our kind of totals list, and now people owe different things depending on those modifiers and when the bills are for. We can now add a payment. So let's say this user is ready to settle up for something they owe. So they'll just enter a payment from themselves, obviously, to, in this case, Chris is owed $126. So they'll pay Chris part of what they owe at least. So they'll say pay him $40. This user here, the owner can also enter payments from the ghost users. Say Kitty, who's a ghost user, is going to pay Chris. So to select a payment from someone else, you would just click on this bit right here to open up this dialog. So from Kitty to Chris, Kitty is going to pay $50. So now that we have a few records in here, you can see how this page here can work. So in this top section, we can either view the totals as a list like this or as a graph, a bar graph. So you can see Chris is still owed some money, mostly by Dre, a little by Erica. Kitty is mostly settled up. And down here for this list of events, you can toggle whether to see a particular type of event, either these account events, like something has been edited or a user's been added, or payments, or bills. You can also long press on any of these events and see kind of more details if there are any. If we had entered a note when we created this payment, it would show up right here. So the account manager can also edit bills or payments from this account management page. And they're the only one who can do that right now. So if another user enters a record that's wrong, the account owner would need to actually edit it. And they can do that with this button right here. And they can edit a bill or a payment. Maybe this was entered wrong. It was actually $45. And you can add a note. When you edit a bill or payment, that will show up as an account event here in blue, so everyone kind of knows that something happened. Also, you can see the note here that I added is now on the payment. So the last thing is that the group owner can delete a group if they want to. So if you go back to your kind of account page here with this button here, you can either create another group or connect to another group. There's no limit on the number of groups you're connected to. If you're the group owner, you have this gold outline around the group, and if you hold down that button, then this icon will appear. So if you really want to get rid of a group, you can delete it, but just realize that that deletes a group for everyone who's a part of it. So that's kind of gone forever. So as I said in the beginning, this is still in development, so it's kind of an early release. So I'll try to make it look nicer in future updates. If you find something confusing, or you think something's missing, or you have an idea for how it could be better, just let me know. You can reach out to me, Chris at sharedexpenses.app, or leave a comment. Yeah, thanks for watching.